Welcome to Brain Health in the Holidays, a Dallas Moms Blog special edition episode featuring our contributors as they join local brain health expert, Leigh Richardson. It's the most wonderful time of the year for some, yet others can't help but feel a little overwhelmed. And that's okay. We're here to talk through it as a community. We welcome you to interact with us as you're tuning in. Join the conversation with this coffee chat for a stress-free holiday season. Our contributors, Katie and Julie, join us in studio to share what they're feeling during this time of the year, so you're not alone. Joining us today are two of our moms, Katie and Julie.
Cheers. Yes. I'm a mom of two darling little cherubs. Grayson is 4. Taylor is 7 months.
I've got a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, almost 3-year-old, and then a almost 1-year-old. So we're pretty wild. Two boys and girl.
So you've met our moms. Now on to our first set of topics. Let's talk through the pressure we put on ourselves for a stress-free holiday season. Then, real talk. Let's tackle those holiday card photo sessions. And after that, we'll cover the expectations when they don't meet reality with family members. What do we do? Don't worry, moms. We've got you covered. But first, Katie shares with us what she's feeling.
Anytime you add a new baby into the mix, I think your whole world gets a little rocked.
Absolutely.
So, yes, it is going great, though. I'm, I guess, pleasantly surprised how easier number 2 has been for me. Emotionally, I guess. Logistically, that has been a different thing. Getting used to loading 2 kids in the car and all the bags. Like, I am always shocked when I come home from just like a 30-minute swim lesson. The bags that I come home with and dump on the floor, there's like 7 bags. I'm like, what? But you have to be ready for all the things. I'm like, what if we get in a car wreck? I need formula. What, we need diapers. What if, we need snacks, a candle. I don't know. I mean, pack it all in. So anyway, yes, it has been a good adjustment, a fun adjustment. Just strength comes from places that you didn't know how you got them. But for me, I guess the holidays bring a very exciting time. I have always loved the holidays so much. I just get so excited about Christmas and decorating and everything. I think that we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves when we even attempt to call it a stress-free holiday. And then we're like, I'm supposed to be stress-free. And then you're like all of a sudden stressed about trying to be stress-free, which is just, for me, it's just trying to, like you were talking about a few minutes ago, keep it joyful, keep it simple, keep it meaningful. I think that we stress about all the gifts and all the things. And last night, my son and my husband were putting up some outdoor decorations. And the biggest thrill my son had was putting the scarf around Frosty's neck outside because he's going to get cold, Mom. And he was so excited about that. So for me, that just kind of opened my eyes to these are the memories and the things that are important to my kids right now. It's just these little tiny things. So.
And how long have you lived here?
We've lived in Plano for 6 years now. So we've had some Christmases without kids, and then 1 kid, now 2 kids, and we're dead. So yeah, here we are.
We're not from here, so all our family's back home in New Orleans. We've been here about, I guess, like 8 years when we graduated from LSU. So it's kind of, we thankfully have really great friends that we can, call on if need be. But, it's definitely different raising your kids without your family. We're fortunate to get to go home. Like, we'll go home for Christmas. So that's a lot of, like, for us, we don't focus as much on like the presence of Christmas. We do, like I was telling y'all before, we do something you want, something you need, something to wear, and something to read, and then like a Santa gift. And that's the extent of really what we do. And ours are young, so it's still kind of new, but it's just like you said, it's those little things. They don't care about the presents. They had fun writing their list for Santa. We have a million advent calendars because I am like a sucker for them and I buy them on sale. So like they're all over the house. And once we'll start that, they love to get to go and like change it. And we have one this year that I want to do like kindness jobs is what my son was calling it, where every day there's something they do. Bring donuts to the firehouse, write a letter to somebody, things like that. Those are kind of how we try to focus the holidays for us, because it's really just for like getting to go home and spend time with our family.
It's so great to hear from our contributors. Now, let's meet Leigh Richardson. She started her practice as Mom on a Mission in North Texas. Leigh founded the Brain Performance Center in 2009 when she experienced the benefits of neuro and biofeedback after her son was injured in a car accident. Leigh joins us today to put our minds at ease. She's truly a brain expert and has so much to share with us. We'll first talk through the mindset our contributors just shared with us, and perhaps you can relate. Let's meet Leigh.
Well, I think, and we touched on it earlier, these ladies are in a great space with their goal. They're not so concerned about buying the latest and the greatest or having the hottest new gift, but they're concerned about creating the experience and the memories. And that's what makes things special, and that's what keeps it simple. One of the easiest things to do and the easiest things not to do is to take out the healthy part of your life. Well, I don't have time anymore for myself. I don't have time to exercise for myself. I don't have time to cook those organic vegetables. That's the one piece of advice I say you do. If you don't have time for yourself, if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So keep that healthy part of your life in check, And I heard the two of you, and you didn't say it this way, but you have your wants and your needs. And during this time of the year, those wants can really easily turn into needs. I need it, I have to. The have-tos, the holiday have-tos, don't have them. But keep it focused on what really do you need, and not so much about what do you want.
We're going to talk all about family photos, Santa photos, should we do the bows, framing, matching outfits, yes, pajama pictures. When we come back, we'll be talking about family photos. Do you have any outtake photos from your family pictures that you'd like to share? Drop them in the comments. Have a funny story that adds to it? Go ahead and add that in.
I feel like everybody takes a collective, deep breath when we talk about family photos.
Let's just take a deep breath.
Wow, y'all. What have we turned this into? We've got pajama photo sessions. We've got out in the field photo sessions, because everyone stands out in a field at dusk, right? Looking all coordinated and perfect lighting. The sun just peeking through the branches. I love photos. My husband knows that I love photos. So I feel like this is something that within our marriage, we've actually had to set an expectation of Mama needs this photo session. And in 30 minutes to an hour, we will be finished. We will have ice cream. We will have rewards. And I feel like we have finally gotten there with my family as to what the expectation is. So, but let's just talk about when our expectations don't meet reality, okay? So the expectation is there, and I always get very excited and think that we're going to get this perfect picture. And typically, well, now that we have 2 children, we're talking about a whole different set of challenges now. So one kid is looking crazy, the other one is smiling, and then they just swap for the next photo, right? So typically, this is when me and my husband have our biggest arguments. It's on the way to and from the photo session. On Thanksgiving Day, we tried to use the self timer, and that was a whole nother set of challenge. So I don't think that we have one actually great Thanksgiving family photo sitting at our table, but that's okay. So we got some real life moments in there, and some moments that we can laugh about at the end of the day, because let's be real, y'all, it is real life. Nobody, well, I say nobody. Some people are posting their best moments, I guess, but there's a lot of outtakes that are happening there. So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's hear from Leigh, and let's get into family photo sessions.
Well, I think the perfect can be a really challenging world. Because when you think about what is perfect, everybody was smiling, everybody was looking at the calendar, everybody looked good. How often does that happen in life?
Never.
And
never.
Not in my world, it doesn't happen. So striving for the perfection, and that's what I see over and over and over for people and children with anxiety or with OCD. They'll say, well, I'm a perfectionist. I just can't help it. Don't use that label as an excuse. because we can. Well, it's all good. I'm in search of the perfect. No, it's not all good. Learning to accept, have realistic expectations, and I always say, and I had twins, today is your day, tomorrow will be your day, so compromise. Oh, I look good on Thanksgiving. That means Christmas, you're going to look great. So it's all about compromise, and it's not about being in search of that perfect event, because you always find what you're looking for. And if you're looking for perfect, you're going to get very frustrated along your look.
Let's hear from our contributors on timing in the holidays when things don't go just as planned.
I'm like a picture person for sure. Like, I get my Christmas card out before Thanksgiving. I'm just like a little bit of OCD about that. But like,
I can help you with that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I definitely have some OCDs. We could talk about that.
OCD with the pictures, like, everybody's in matching outfits.
I'm like, my boys match basically every day. Hair wise, my kids are wild, so it's not really like you have your clothes on. Like, I don't really I think it's like the getting up to take the pictures are kind of stressful, but once you get there, it's just like, it is what it is. Like, our pictures this year, we showed up, everybody's dressed. Like, I don't really wear makeup a ton, so like when I've got my makeup done and we show up and it's pouring, and like we got one picture and the photographer's like, we need to go, like, I don't like this weather. We get in the car and it just pours, and she's like, I'm so sorry, like, you have 3 kids, 3 and under. At the time, my oldest hadn't had his birthday yet, and I was like, you know what, it is what it is. I can't control the weather, we'll do it again. I was like, more like, am I going to get my Christmas cards out on time? I don't care, but if not, then I didn't get them out. It's easy to get stressed in the moment, but I think having 3 kids so young has really made me like take a step back and focus on the things that do require energy and do require your stress. And then the things that don't, you cannot control everything. As much as I would like to, the control freak in me, you're gonna make yourself crazy. And then like you said, you need to focus on yourself. I don't want to be a shell of a mom for my kids. I want to be present. I want to be a good mom, and I can't do that if I'm spending all my energy focusing on the rain. Mm-hmm. What are you gonna do?
Don't you love those famous family pictures that circle our social media feeds? Share yours with us. Let's get into making time for yourself. You can make it happen. From there, we'll take a deep dive into emotions during this time of year and any guilt you might be feeling. Let's start with Katie as she opens up on her daily life moments.
I think that making time for yourself is so important for me. I'm working on when that time is. I think I was telling y'all earlier, I think the thing that stresses me out so much right now, it's not so much the holidays. It's nothing really stops for the holidays, so it's just another layer added onto our everyday life. So for me, I'm just going to, holidays aside over here, everyday life is just very stressful for me right now. There is a constancy. Is that a word? Constancy? A constantness? I don't know.
There is today.
Okay,
Yeah.
today, there's a lot of things that have to happen for us to literally just get into clothes and get fed and go to bed at night. So I think that when you're a mom and you're literally in charge of every single detail, from the fact, that my kid was supposed to wear yellow to school today, to every bite that goes into everyone's mouths, to clean clothes, your brain is on overload. And so for me, I have to carve out at least 10 minutes or somewhere in my day to where I can stop and make my brain stop and take a little time to take a deep breath like you were talking about. And when I don't get that and make myself stop, it's just not good for my whole family. So I try to make myself do it. I'm trying to find a great time for that. It used to be that I would get up before my kids around 5:30 or so and have some quiet time and get that quiet and prayer time in for myself. Right now, it's a little hard because there's kids waking up at 5:30 a lot of the time. And so I'm trying to find when that is. I think that a lot of guilt also accompanies taking a few moments for yourself. And you always feel like I need to be so efficient in any break in my day and get prepared for another moment of my day. And so that's where I'm to be honest, I'm struggling with that because I feel like I'm supposed to be so efficient with my time, and that kind of doesn't allow for a lot of time to just take a deep breath. And so then I think that's what probably leads to the most stressful moments for me. So.
I'm so glad you went there, Katie, because that is the feeling that a lot of moms are feeling during this time of year. And this is a season, right? This is a season where the kids are little.
Yep.
And, they're crying all night long. And it just happens. But, Mama, you're doing a good job. You're doing a
Thanks.
great job.
My sweet little babysitter told me the other day I was doing a good job, and I just about started crying. I was like, thank you, honey.
You're doing a great job. You're such a beautiful mom. And, you're tearing up. And we love you so much, Katie.
It's
and
tough.
Because I've been there, and I was there yesterday. Caleb, things pop up, right? Unexpected, as Julie had said. And, that's why with Dallas Mom Blog and this community that we built here is just so important, right? Connecting with other moms and, not just holding this in, Leigh. Let's talk about opening up and having friends and family around you. And this is a season that most and some will struggle with.
Well, and really you're doing the best thing, Katie, for yourself. You're acknowledging those feelings. You're saying, this is what I'm feeling and I don't like it, but this is what I'm feeling and this is what I'm working on. And it's okay. It is okay to feel the way you feel. And the people that I see struggle the most is those that can't reach out for help. How you doing? Great. Are you sure you're okay? Mm-hmm. That's where I see, the biggest. They suffer the most. Not that they don't feel it, they do, but they turn it all inward. And I love the way, you just kind of let it loose and said, hey, this is what I'm working on, and this is what I'm feeling. And that is the first step for your health. Really and truly, that is one of the best things you can do.
Okay, well, for the record, I'm not in the denial stage then. That's so great. Yes. Own it.
When we come back, we're going to talk about emotions and the holidays. How can we get through it without just feeling like we're going to lose it? And that's okay if we do lose it, but we're going to have Leigh Richardson share with us how to keep cool during this cold weather. Welcome back, ladies. All right, let's talk about emotions in the holidays. I know that I've been there where I just kind of lost my cool and I regretted it. And I thought, gosh, how do I reset? How do I keep cool during the holidays? Can you relate?
Yeah, I mean, I am in the camp of you have to lose it to regain it. You have to let yourself have those moments and move on from it. I have had plenty of those moments, and I have a really good friend who has said, bad moments do not make a bad mom. You have a bad moment, you lose it, you move on from it. So that's kind of how, I'm sure you probably have some tips on how we can, you did lose it. Now what do you do? How do you regain it?
Well, a lot of times we do lose it and we're quick to pick it up. And the problem is we never put it back down. We hold it within us. And instead of picking it up and saying, okay, really messed that one up, but I'm good. But we'll play that over and over in our brain. We go to bed that night and we're laying there, boy, I wish I hadn't messed that up, And so what I tell people is it's more important than picking it up is letting it go. It's over. It's over. It's behind you. You're going to have 100 opportunities in the next week to repeat that, or maybe more. Depends on your week. That's true. But you really do. You need to be able to let it go. And one of the ways to let it go is process it. And this must be the counselor in me talking, but share it. And you mentioned you have a really good friend that you do share things with. Bad moments aren't bad moms. Share it. Laugh about it. Laugh at yourself. Because if you reflect back on it, you're going to either laugh or cry about it. Mm-hmm. Laugh every time.
I always tell my husband, I'm like, if you're not laughing about it, what are you going to do? You're going to cry about it. You have to laugh, let it go. Aren't you so much happier when you laugh than when you lose it or scream or cry?
I think it gives our kids an opportunity to see us in those moments, because I think we are disciplining those moments so much in our kids when they lose it and we say, no, sir, or no, ma'am. And we almost are teaching them to reel in those feelings a little bit. And it hit me last week. There was the moment where all the things were going wrong, okay? And the moment finally came when I snagged my pool teacher's fence. And it snagged my fender on my car. And I just lost it. I just started crying. And my son was in the back seat. And he said, Mommy, why are you crying? What's wrong? And I mean, it just was a moment for him to actually show raw compassion and for him to ask me what was wrong. And I told him there's just a lot of things about my day that are frustrating to me. And I can't remember what he responded with, but it was just so innocent and so sweet for him to kind of want to rescue me in that moment, because he could see that I was crying. And so it just was a little reward for some lessons that I felt like, when I asked him what's wrong, now he's returning that for me, and it was so sweet. So
It means you're doing a great job. And like
we're getting there.
We'll do like in the flip of that, like I lose it and I get frustrated and I'm angry, and if I raise my voice and I realize afterwards, I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to raise my voice at you. And I'll say, I'm like, Mommy is sorry. I'm sorry that I raised my voice at you. I'm sorry that I yelled. I'm sorry that I stomped my feet or whatever it was. I'm like, I was feeling frustrated, and that was how I was letting it out. Same way I'll tell you to do it. And I always apologize. Like, no matter how bad the moment is, I always go back and I apologize. And I just hope that my kids see that and they can do very much like he did, learn from you and apply it when the time comes.
Leigh, let's hear from you on the brain health expert side. What happens when we feel emotion? Is it healthy to feel emotion?
Of course it's healthy to feel emotion, You want to be able to feel happy and sad, but what you want is balance. And that as we age, we learn how to do that. Our brain develops, we create some regulation, but when you're young, you don't necessarily have that. You don't have those frontal lobes, and that's the part of the brain where that impulsivity and all of that comes from. So we have to learn how to balance our emotions. And I think that when a child can see a mom have a bad moment, that's a great learning opportunity. Particularly instead of crying, let's say you let out the string of 4-letter words. Because I've done that, not with great pride, but I've done that. And there's a great learning opportunity. Okay, what else could mom have said instead of those 4-letter words? Mom could have said, well, that really upset me. You made me mad. And then brainstorm with them on how to handle that situation. Emotion is good. Nothing to me is more frustrating than to see a flat line, where somebody's just, You want to go over and, do you hear me? Are you okay? Knock, knock, are you there? So emotion is good, but we have to teach our children how to manage emotions and how to when we do have a bad moment, turn it around. And I told my kids growing up, there's never a bad time to say, I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Next to that was, I love you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
I agree.
Yes.
Definitely.
This has been just such an amazing show. I can't believe that we're closing here. But, we've talked about how to make time for ourselves, not to worry about that perfect photo session, also to feel emotion, how important it is to be able to just, recognize that we have emotions and that's what it is to be human. Also to reach out to your community and to be there and be present and be able to be honest with others and yourself and to be able to reach out. And so you're not just feeling this alone, right? We're all here.
Definitely.
We're here with you, right? Anything in closing that you guys want to add? And also just for moms watching this today.
I mean, you're not, like you just said, you're not alone. You've got to reach out. You've got to ask for help. You cannot do it all. Like we moms, are the strongest people I know in general, but you cannot do it alone. Whether it's a husband, a friend, a run, whatever it is that you need to do it because you're better for it and your kids are better for you being better.
And don't forget.
Yes. I like that.
All
but
right. Don't forget, you have a spiritual side that you can also reach out to. And the nice thing about that is you can do that anytime.
Anytime.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. I think for me, just kind of questioning ourselves, what's my intention behind this? I love what you said about that. What is the meaning behind this? What is the intention behind this? So therefore, social media, please don't let it be your measuring stick. We are seeing snippets
Definitely.
And little tiny moments of the best day for other people. So that is not your measuring stick. I think that we envision what we feel like the meaning is for our family and for our kids, and we make that our priority and move on with it. So
Nicely said. And Leigh, again, in closing, what do you want moms to walk away from today? Just, again, understanding our brains, and there's so much that we could continue to cover on brain health, and especially during this time of year, just how to stay cool. But it is very, we're very thankful to have you here with us, Leigh, because you really have shined so much light and comfort for all of us here. And a little bit more about, your purpose and mission and the Brain Performance Center.
Okay, well, thank you for having me. It's been great. And really, what the Brain Performance is all about is helping people, children, adults, older adults, helping them get to their next level. Whether it's just that the first year in school and you don't want to get up and you don't want to go to school, you don't like those people in your class, that's anxiety. And that anxiety will make it hard for you to focus when you're there. So just understanding that everything you do, you don't do, or how well you do it, it's all about how that brain's working. And that brain's not fully developed until you're in your mid to late 20s, so it can be really hard, when you're 6, 13, 15, no matter, it can be really hard.
Very good. And again, let's talk about, just here in closing, Dallas Moms Blog, Collin County Moms Blog, what we're here for, and how long you've been involved.
Okay, well, I am currently a contributor for Collin County Moms Blog. I think I've been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah, we were like the starting group.
No, it's exciting.
Gosh,
so
it's crazy.
I love to write. I feel like that is a great outlet that I love. So it really helps me to take a deep breath when I just get to sit there and do a little bit of writing and kind of pour out my feelings into a post. And I love doing that. And then I do a little bit of work with Dallas Moms Blog as their neighborhood groups coordinator. So we were talking about a community, actually. Yes. We have several neighborhood groups between both Dallas and Collin County Moms Blog. And we get together for play dates, for coffee dates, mom's night out, and that sort of thing. So I help kind of oversee that, and it's really fun.
You're singing my song. I love coffee dates.
I love a coffee date.
How about you, Julie? How did you get involved and tell us about
Same with Katie. We were in the first round of the contributors when Collin County Moms Blog started, and it's been great. I mean, there's a handful of us that have been there since the beginning, and I didn't really expect it to be like it's kind of been like a family, and it is. It's an outlet. I didn't really think about that kind of until you said it. You take whatever's on your heart that month, that week, and you write it. And thankfully, we have all y'all behind the scenes who are, tweaking it and making it shareable. and it's cool to see who relates to that topic or whatever it is you wrote about. So that's been a really fun connection tool. Another connection tool.
Yep.
We're all about connection here.
Couldn't have said it better myself. The Moms Blog group is all about connecting and expressing yourself and knowing that you're not alone. And so I have those moments where I'm reading those Mom Blog articles, and I'm just, those are my thoughts. They're feeling what I'm feeling. I'm not alone here. And so I am just so thankful for the Mom Blog community, and continue to reach out and pour out your soul, because that's what we're all here for. We're not doing this alone. And cheers, mamas.
Cheers to the mamas.
Yeah, mamas.
Again, join us in the comments, and we would love to hear from you. And happy holidays on behalf of the Moms Blog Network.